Greetings, Guardians. This is Olympus Alliance, and today we'll talk about Ginger, the Dominion's legendary inventor with firepower that can change the course of a battle when used correctly. She's fast, disruptive, and when built right, can shred through defenses like they're nothing but paper. In this guide, we're going to dive deep into her skills, her items of rank, skins, glyphs, artifacts, gift of the elements, talismans, team synergies, and of course, the heroes that can counter her. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of what makes Ginger deadly, and how to bring out her best on the battlefield. So let's start at the very beginning, Ginger's skill set. Her first skill is Lead Storm. When activated, she fires 7 buckshot rounds from her pistol, each one dealing physical damage to all enemies. On its own, the multiplier isn't huge, it's only about 10% of her physical attack plus a flat value. But that's where synergy comes into play. If Ginger gets a boost of physical attack at the right moment, for example, when Fafnir triggers his third skill, Runic Blade, or even better, when he combines it with his ultimate, Blacksmith Mastery, Ginger's bullets hit like a storm of cannon fire. And because her armor penetration is naturally high, those bullets don't just scratch tanks. They can blow through entire enemy lines. When her power is timed right, Lead Storm doesn't feel like a smaller attack, it feels like a battlefield wipe. That's why Ginger can sometimes be compared to Artemis, another marksman with the ability to melt teams in seconds. Her second skill is Penetrating Shot. This is where Ginger adds control to her arsenal. She launches a projectile that knocks back the enemy, hits the target behind them, and applies concussion for 4 seconds. Concussion slows the enemy's movement speed significantly, giving your team more breathing room. But here's the trick, this skill can interrupt the timing of enemy tanks. If you fire Penetrating Shot just before a tank activates their ultimate, you can delay them, disrupt their frontline defense, and open up a window for your team to strike. This works incredibly well with allies like Julius. While Ginger is pushing back and delaying the frontline, Julius is buying even more time with his shields, making your team harder to break while the enemy's momentum collapses. Knockback and control, it's simple but brutally effective. Her third skill is Suppressive Fire. Ginger fires into the air, sending buckshot raining down on the entire enemy team. Unlike Lead Storm, this is earlier in the fight, has a higher multiplier of about 40%, but hits only once per enemy. Even so, that's a team-wide burst of physical damage. Suppressive Fire can soften up enemies before your main damage dealers finish them off. It's especially dangerous against low-health backline heroes or frail supports hiding behind tanks. When timed well, this skill sets the stage for finishing moves. And finally, her fourth skill, Ranging Shot. This is a passive skill that empowers progress heroes on Ginger's team. Every one of Ginger's basic attacks grants a physical attack bonus to her progress allies, stacking up to a cap determined at the start of the fight. Within 8 attacks, the cap is reached, and suddenly your progress team is hitting far harder than before. This creates a snowball effect in long battles. Heroes like Nebula, with her fourth skill Equilibrium, take advantage of this brilliantly. Because Nebula's buff scales with her own physical attack, and Ginger is constantly feeding her more, the damage output for nearby allies skyrockets. Imagine Judge on the front and Isaac on the back, both benefiting from this chain reaction. Shields get stronger, damage output increases, and the ripple effect spreads across the battlefield. Ranging Shot is the skill that turns Ginger from a lone gunner into a team amplifier. So those are her skills. But how do you actually build Ginger to maximize her potential? Let's go step by step. Starting with items of rank. You want to focus on gear that boosts physical attack and armor penetration. These are the stats that make her skills hit harder and pierce defenses. On the violet tiers, Equip her with the Governor, Selena's Foice, and Morina's Glaive. As you transition into the orange tiers, Grow Bulga's Poleaxe, Ruler's Globus, and Unity of Extremes are essential. Ideally, you'll want Ginger at orange +3 or +4 for mid to late game play. At that stage, her damage spikes dramatically and she can truly carry fights when her kit is supported. Now, let's talk about skins. Ginger has 6 skins available, the default, 2 physical attack skins, armor penetration, magic defense, and a health skin with A+ version. Prioritization here is key. Start with armor penetration. Without it, her bullets won't pierce through tanks, and her damage will fall flat. After that, invest in physical attack, because it scales directly with all her skills and basic attacks. Then push the second physical attack skin to amplify that effect even further. Once those are set, level her default skin, it adds both damage and survivability by boosting her armor. Next comes her health skin, because staying alive longer means more time to stack ranging shot and more damage overall. Lastly, the magic defense skin. While useful, Ginger's best progress team compositions usually include heroes like Julius, Judge, and Isaac, who provide shielding against both physical and magical damage. This means magic defense is less of a priority for Ginger herself. In the future, if she ever receives another armor penetration or physical attack skin, that will jump to the absolute top of the list. Moving on to glyphs. Ginger's glyphs cover physical attack, health, magic defense, armor penetration, and agility. Prioritize armor penetration first. This unlocks her potential against tanks and makes all her damage more impactful. After that, level physical attack to scale her skills and attacks. Then invest in agility, which not only boosts her damage output but also slightly increases her armor for better survivability. Fourth is health, because every bit of durability helps Ginger stay in the fight longer. And last is magic defense, not useless, but less critical given her positioning and allies' shields. Bring all glyphs to level 40 for balance during mid-game, unless you're chasing higher for skill class progression. Next up, artifacts. Ginger's weapon artifact provides a physical attack bonus to the entire team when she activates her first skill. Her book increases armor penetration and physical attack, and her ring boosts agility. Prioritization is straightforward. Start with the book. This is the most impactful for Ginger herself, directly enhancing her skills, her attacks, and her damage output. After that, invest in the ring, because scaling agility means scaling physical attack and survivability at the same time. Lastly, upgrade her weapon artifact. While it does share a team-wide bonus, the effect is more situational compared to her own personal stat boosts. Still, in battles where timing is everything, that weapon artifact can tip the scales. Now, let's cover the gift of the elements. Max it out, focus on health and physical attack. Ginger, as a backline marksman, can be fragile if ignored. She needs those boosts to endure longer fights and deliver her full potential. For talismans, Ginger has 2. The first boosts agility and armor penetration. The second adds crushing and chance of critical hit. Both are excellent, and easy to acquire. The first ensures her bullets break through armor consistently, while the second amplifies her critical hit potential. And if you've played Ginger, you know how devastating her criticals can become, especially with Sebastian in the lineup. Even without talismans, Ginger can still perform, but with them, she becomes a wrecking machine. So now comes one of the most important questions: how do you counter Ginger? The first and most obvious answer is Corvus. His Altar of Souls punishes O damage, and since Ginger's kit relies heavily on spraying the entire enemy team, she becomes her own worst enemy. Second, we have Lian. With her conciliation skill, Lien charms Ginger the moment her bullets touch her. That charm interrupts Ginger's attack, turning her offensive momentum into hesitation, which can cost you the fight. Third, there's Orion. His magnetic field targets the backline, which is exactly where Ginger hides. With strong O damage and a built-in slow, Orion can dismantle Ginger before she gets going. Fourth is Dew. His skill ICU targets the furthest enemy, and more often than not, that's Ginger. Without protection, she won't last long against him. And finally, it's worth noting that Ginger's biggest weakness is timing. She thrives when her allies shield her and boost her damage at the right moments. Deny her those windows with disruption, and she loses her edge. So Guardians, what's the verdict? Ginger is a deadly marksman when built right. Her kit is versatile, she blinds, she stuns, she knocks back, and she deals massive O damage. She's a progress hero who amplifies her allies and snowballs her own power as the battle drags on. With the right team around her, she can rival Artemis in raw destructive capability. But she's not invincible. Play her recklessly, or let her run into her counters, and she can fall apart quickly. That's the balance of Hero Wars, Alliance. And that's it for today, Guardians. What do you think about Ginger? Have you tried her in your progress setups, or do you prefer other marksmen like Artemis or Fox? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this guide, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss a new Olympus Alliance video. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and as always, salute and friendship.